welcome back to the Roast Mortem Podcast, the only podcast that is about love, respect, and mostly honor for your 7 uncles that know 7 different types of samurai sword trickery.
Starting off strong.
I'm Tom.
Yeah.
I'm Travis, and in the words of my old band, we don't want to be loved. We just want to have your respect and play Doom.
I remember that band. It was good. I am your Cody for the evening.
Was that the Fresh Princes?
Yes, it was. I was Will Smith, not from Tom's show. I was born in West Philadelphia, if you guys don't know.
Yeah,
Born and
speaking
raised.
of which,
Born and raised.
welcome back to the show, Mike.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
fucker.
We missed you.
Cheers, boys.
Just
Slancha.
drinking delicious beer. Been thinking about which uncle I have to kill, because you have to obtain one of the uncle's swords. Now, you might not get that
Uncle
joke.
Swords.
Realistically, no one should get that joke.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I'm lost.
but just
Good.
keep this in mind. You're not supposed to get it, and when you do get it, you fucked up.
You know the wrong person.
Mike, I'm really glad that you're here for this episode, and you're not
Why's that?
off dawdling somewhere.
Couldn't miss the
playing-
100th episode.
Being tardy to class.
Yeah, you truant fuck.
Yeah, this is the 100th episode of Roast Mortem Cast.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 200th episode, we're going to have 14 uncles.
Oh, yeah.
With that, enough uncle talk, because we have other family to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. I also feel like on the 200th episode, I'm probably going to be on like dialysis or something. Like, there's going to be something really wrong with me.
Don't say that.
I've lost a limb, or like, yeah.
Just go for
No,
a
no,
walk,
no.
dude.
What?
Just
Nah,
go
that's
for
not
a
gonna
walk.
happen.
Dude, I walk around. Sometimes I walk and get eggs from the store. Then I hard boil them on the way back. So, how was your weeks, guys? How was, I feel like we got more to talk about than weeks. We got to, like, reminisce of some shit because it's the 100th episode.
So, yeah, how about instead of our weeks, we talk about our favorite episode real quick?
Okay. Oh, put me on the
talk
spot
about my
here.
voice acting gig and all that.
All right, talk about that. And then
All right, you can
Okay.
talk about it, Cody.
I was voice acting this week, and I was, yay, I was a lawyer for a fellow friend podcast, Rem of the Rich Dickman Show. We did an episode with him. Travis, you were truant, you fucker. But we did hang out with Rem and do an episode with him, and he asked me to voice act. I was a lawyer that said lawyer things for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and it was nice.
Cody, you could convince me that I have been subpoenaed.
Yes.
What was the name of the lawyer?
The name of the lawyer was Jonathan Silver.
Jonathan Silver.
Sounds like a lawyer.
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
write that.
All
Rem
right.
wrote that. It was good. And another thing I wanted to say, Berries and Cream. I don't know if you know her. She's on Twitter. She's like the artist for like most of our friend podcasts.
Okay.
As of like this recording, I think she's responsible for like the Twitter pictures of the Thought Cops and the Loudest Podcast. And I think an hour ago she became our newest Patreon. And she wanted me to say, hi Berries on my how is my week going. So there you go. Did it.
look at that. We have moving wheels.
Nice.
We can give you perks that aren't even written down. Hi, Berries and Cream, if that is your real
What up?
name.
It is not.
Well,
Well, I mean, the
Fine.
gears are in motion, but if you look at the past gears of podcasting,
What are you
and the
talking
rust
about?
that has developed upon the histories of these gears, what is your favorite episode, Tom?
I have a hard time picking because I'm extremely funny in all of them. I'm going to have to go with John the Sixth, Portugal.
Oh, a little
Good one.
Yeah.
eyeball melty boy.
Yeah, he had chicken in his pockets,
Perfect.
and that made me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this fat guy is my kind of guy. I want to shake those greasy hands. Fried chicken.
Yeah,
Fried
hold on.
chicken.
Actually, can we just like rewind a little bit? Who of the people that we've roasted would you want to meet?
Okay.
Same person, Tom, or no?
I have to brush up on my Portuguese.
Okay. The handshake might be a little greasy.
Yeah, I need more than a handshake. Who am I gonna do? Oh, who would I want to meet? I don't know, Mike. Who would you want to meet?
Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about electricity.
That's cool. I like that.
Sick, dude.
Well,
Cody?
I'm going to kick it all the way back to episode 1, motherfuckers. I would
Whiny?
love... I would love for Pliny to tickle me and like do a remedy for anxiety, tie some fox testicles on my face, kiss me on the head, tell me everything's going to be all right.
You are a kinky boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would probably go with. I'm gonna stay true to the Electricity Boys. I would like to meet Tesla, hang out with that sexual pigeon that he loved.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want to meet Tesla. I just want to meet the pigeon.
Oh, I can't remember her name. I think it was like Georgia or something.
Oh,
Georgia the
the
pigeon.
Collier Brothers episode I like too.
I wouldn't want to meet
You
them,
want
though.
to no, Mike.
You wanna
don't
meet
hang out
them?
with those?
I
No.
wouldn't want to hang out with them, but I like that episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode. You're welcome.
Okay.
They're all good. I think they're all.
I don't really want to meet any of these people, to be honest with you. But one who I'd like to observe from a distance is Terrare.
Oh,
Okay.
Terrare.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I want to watch him eat like a fruit cart.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like pits and everything.
But like behind glass because he smelled so bad.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be from a distance. I'll be wearing my camo
Upwind.
garb, my 20th century camo garb, like from the
Military?
Gulf War, but like in France. No one's gonna look at me.
All right. So we extended we put out the idea of like, what should we do for our 100th episode?
Yeah.
And while you all had great ideas, we didn't choose any of them because
No.
the roast mortem casts.
Yes.
And
We
fuck
tricked you.
that shit.
See, the trick is that the way these episodes work is that they're very disappointing up top, and then they
Oh, yeah.
ramp up,
That's how we do.
and they get exciting. So the same thing goes with all your expectations.
The one thing I do want to do, though, is somebody mentioned, I think it might have been the guys from the Thought Cops, actually, doing fictional characters. And we had talked about that a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Grant wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And I really want to roast, like, Indiana Jones. Because he just fucked shit up.
That'd be
He
fun.
fucked everything up.
I want to roast Mavis Beacon. We wanted to do that, remember?
Yeah, fuck Mavis Beacon.
Well, I mean, I think we will do that. Maybe we'll do it on our Patreon or some shit. I don't know.
Let's do it for April Fools or something.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Yeah, well, then it's not a joke. Then we can't fool them, Cody.
We're not doing anything for April Fools. That's official. Official statement. All right, let's go
Write
into
it
the
down.
episode.
Yeah, so for the 100th episode anniversary thingy, this shit is not for the listeners. This is for us, specifically me.
Oh, what's going on?
You know, I like talk about like my brains being replaced with cum and like anuses and shit.
Yeah.
Like I just like talking about that.
Yeah, you
So I
say
was like,
awful things.
Yeah, and I think in our bio it says like, you know, history's just a bunch of idiots rubbing together and making other idiots.
You wrote that.
Yeah, well I did. You know,
Put
I'm
on a
great.
shirt.
So so I was like, why don't we roast one of our fucking ancestors? And I had the
Okay.
perfect ancestor.
Perfect ancestor.
Perfect ancestor.
Are we
So,
roasting Adam?
Yeah.
Adam? Who's Adam?
Adam and Eve.
Oh yeah, we're roasting Adam.
I mean,
No.
I would say Eve, but that's low-hanging fruit.
What'd you do, like Ancestry.com
No.
or some shit, and like find out some crazy shit? I gotta do that.
Yo, okay, so I actually did do Ancestry.com, and there's like this big mystery shit that I'm gonna set up about my family.
Okay.
So this, I dove right into this right around when we first started doing the podcast. I was like all about Ancestry.com and like finding out specifically about my dad's side of the family because my grandfather abandoned my dad when he was young.
Good guy.
And
Jeez.
yeah, and he also had like a bunch of other families that I was able to like connect the dots to.
Nice.
That my dad had no clue about. But one of the biggest mysteries was my great-grandfather. So essentially, he did the same thing that my grandfather did to his son, which was just abandon him. So we didn't really know much.
See, your dad didn't do that.
Yeah.
Your dad's a good
Yeah.
dad.
So you have to shun your dad by doing that.
Yeah, right? I know. Exactly.
Yeah,
Family
you,
tradition.
you have to impregnate someone and then leave Portland.
Immediately.
Just
Leave
forget
port.
about it.
Leave port.
No, well, that's the Guy Fieri way. You said he forgetty.
Understood.
So the only thing that I knew about my grandfather was that he was. I just had a picture. There was one picture of this guy in a dog costume, right? And I knew that he was some type of actor, And my grandma told me that, oh, my first husband performed for the Queen of England. And
Fancy. Hey.
Wow.
yeah, there was just this picture of a dog in her dining room. It looks like some really creepy fucking dog shit. But I was like, there's no face. It's just this dog boy. Like, that's my great-grandfather.
Wait.
Dog boy.
Oh, so you mean, let me frame this. Your great-grandfather, correct great-grandfather,
Yes.
was a famous furry.
A furry of the court?
That is correct. So
Oh my
He was
fucking
dressed as a
God.
hot dog?
No, just a
one of the-
regular dog.
What is wrong with you, Mike? You have the munchies or something.
No, he wasn't a moldy hot dog. My great-grandfather was an international vaudeville superstar. And he was the original, the OG furry. And that's who we're gonna, and I will tell you why he's the original OG furry. But that was my great-grandfather, Alfred J. Lee, or his stage name was Alfred Latell.
Holy fuck. Okay.
This explains
The raccoon
a
thing.
lot of shit about you.
Are we going back to Miko here?
We'll get there.
We've never left Miko. Miko is always in my thoughts when we do these episodes.
Really? Just
I mean,
picture
I
me
can't see
banging
you
the
waist
raccoon?
down. You might be railing a raccoon from the waist down. I can't tell.
I am so excited to talk about your furry grandfather.
I am too, actually. Just not with the megaphone.
So, okay. So the only other, besides this weird mystery photo, the only other thing that we knew about my lineage is a Lee. Lee is the most common surname in the world because there's the Asians and then there's
Excuse
the
you,
Europeans.
fucker.
Yeah, like Bruce Lee.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I could have just made all this shit up and been like, I'm Bruce Lee's boy. I will fight you.
All right. Okay.
Oh my god,
know-
I'm so glad you're not in movies.
I will
That'd be
nunchuck
confusing.
you. So the only other thing we knew was that my grandfather told my dad that we were related to douchebag Robert E. Lee, Confederate general.
Oh, I thought you were joking every time you make those comments, but it's honest to goodness there, the lineage.
Yes, I am related
Wow.
to Robert E. Lee. So
Is that why you were just riddled with white guilt?
there's no white guilt here. I like white chocolate. I like dark chocolate. I like black chocolate. Is that
Yeah,
a thing,
yeah.
black chocolate?
Yeah, whatever.
So before we get into the big man, Alfred Latell, I'm gonna give you a little background on the Lees and the lineage.
Please,
Yeah.
go for it.
And I'm not gonna, this is gonna be your typical, like, relative thing about your long lost great Aunt Martha, who was conceived Gertrude after, she blew her second cousin behind a dumpster, then spit
Whoa.
the load out in her hand and shoved it into her vagina. I'm not gonna give you any of that shit.
Okay, well,
Good, yeah.
This is imaginations only.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, I mean, this is not a plug for Ancestry, but through
I kind of want
Ancestry.com.
to do that. I want to find who I'm related to.
Yeah, dude. You just
Get in
spit
there.
it. And we were talking about biology the other day. Just spit into a cup. You don't need to jerk off. You just spit in a cup, and they tell you where you're from.
Dude, now the government has your DNA, dude.
It's called a buccal swab.
A bugle swab.
Buccal. Yeah, buccal swab is a cheek
Bugle
swab.
swab.
Nah.
Tom, do you
Okay.
like bugles? I like bugles.
The snack? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
The
great
horn?
snack.
Not my favorite horn. Not my brass of choice, but it's necessary to wake up the troops.
The troops need to come home. Mm-hmm. So I tracked the Lees all the way back to England. I got some English nobility in me,
Hey,
which trust
did
me,
I?
is not a good thing. I'm blaming my ingrown toes on those royals that mushed each other a little bit. I also have black balls.
What?
Like
Hey.
they're molding off of my body, kind of
That
like
happens.
Charles II.
Amazing.
Wow.
It happens, but hey, your nobility.
So the first Lee descendant to come to America was Richard the Immigrant Lee the First.
Was he a wrestler? Was that his stage name?
That was his fucking stage name, dude. The Immigrant.
And what year was that?
That was in 1643.
So that's when everyone was an immigrant.
Yeah, because he actually came to a little-known colony outpost called Jamestown in Virginia.
Oh.
Wow, you are so privileged.
I know, right, dude?
I like it.
It's really funny because like whenever I like wake up, there's just money in my bed that like the government sends me.
Good.
It's pretty
Damn.
sick.
Are you sure you're not losing teeth in your sleep?
Well, yeah, I don't have any health care, so maybe no dental or anything. Little tooth fairy guys just showing up. Sorry about that.
I like how they're guys and there's more than one in your lore.
Yeah, it's a union.
I was just going to say that. Like, yeah, they tag out for union days and shit like that.
So this Richard Lee the First was a sheriff and colonel in the militia, and suffice to say, he did a pretty good job for himself, claiming thousands of acres of Virginia, including an area that would one day become Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Congratulations, Travis.
I'm a government shill.
Look at you. Look at you go.
And of course, with his wealth and the noble birth, he had slaves and indentured servants. Because, that's what people did back then. Not proud of it. There's a lot of people that are like, dude, you gotta just respect your family. This is where you're from. I'm like, no, these guys sucked. Your ancestors sucked.
Yes.
Just maybe a little bit of that white guilt I was talking about before creeping out. Like the top of a U-Bet syrup bottle, how it just never closes right after you're making an egg cream.
So the Lees of Virginia went on to become one of the most powerful families in America, because plantations and slaves and trade with England. Now, I mean, if you want to talk about privilege, I mean, these were privileged people, right? You don't need to get political, but, these privileged people.
Yeah, I mean, you're proof that doesn't translate to today because you don't have a job.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
We're podcasting right now.
I wish privilege was this thing.
We're just four sad guys.
So eventually, things with England soured, and the Lees, they thought, like, let's break away from England, because that just means that we get more power for us. There was basically no American loyalty. This was like a financial move. The South, in general, during the Revolution, was pretty much a financial move. They didn't give a shit about any of these, values of America.
Of course, that values of America, the country that hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
Let's find moral high ground before we know what the ground looks like.
It must have been a crazy time to live in. I couldn't imagine experiencing that.
Realistically, you'd be poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating potatoes somewhere.
Yeah.
Potatoes
you're a
are
good
for
guy.
the privilege.
That's why. You're a good guy.
Nice guys finish last.
Too nice. You
They
got
do,
nothing,
and-
no property.
And your trucks would be made out of, rutabagas.
You'd have to eat those onion and tobacco sandwiches, Mike.
Oh, no.
So one of my relatives, Richard Henry Lee, was one of the founding fathers that signed the Declaration of Independence. And like I said,
Oh, cool.
there was no lofty goal. There was just basically like, oh, dude, we own so much land down in the South. Be great if we didn't have to go to England no more.
Do you get a discount on anything for having that shit in your bloodline, Like,
What do you have a
got
discount on?
A signature on the Declaration of Independence?
Is Travis going to go into, fucking Jersey Mike's and be like, yo, give me an extra crouton?
I don't know, they get a card for that or something like I'm like a historical landmark.
If my ancestor didn't sign this, nothing would have changed. So give me a break here.
Yeah, so as we roll into the 19th century, the Lees continue to be a powerful family in America, serving in all branches of the government and the military. They fashioned themselves a lot like English royalty, in the fact that they love to cousin touch. They didn't want to spread that wealth.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah, so, let's talk about my relationship with Robert E. Lee.
Before
right?
we realize you're inbred. Okay,
No,
gotcha.
we will get into my bread consumption.
Are you a
which
sandwich?
was
bread.
mainly white bread. It's only white bread.
Wonderful white.
Well,
There
no,
you
it's
go.
not. Yeah. So Robert E. Lee was my great uncle.
Okay.
And I believe the branch of the Lees that I come from, this is the whole DNA testing thing, came from the town of Leesburg, Virginia. Makes
All right.
sense, right?
Oh,
cool.
you have creative ancestors.
You ever been
I like
there?
it.
No, I haven't. There's probably a lot of Mountain Dew down there.
Yeah, probably.
So here's where we get to the cousin touching. Okay, so Burnwell Lee Sr. fought in the Revolutionary War and married a woman named Anne Arnold. His son, Burnwell Lee Jr., married his mother's first cousin, Martha Arnold.
Hot.
Not so good.
Gross.
Then Burnwell Jr., his son, so my great-great-grandfather, Robert Austin Lee, married his second cousin named Matilda Arnold. And I'm like, dude, rule of thumb, like, if a girl has your mom's maiden name, don't put your penis inside her. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
That's a good rule. I'll buy that. Otherwise, you start growing teeth on your kneecaps
Yeah.
from being inbred.
True.
Yeah, so this was like it wasn't just Robert Austin Lee that did it. Like, almost all of his sisters and brothers fucked or married Arnolds.
Wow. That's fantastic. You know, discipline. Discipline is one of the values of the 7 uncles.
Yeah.
And you got lots of those uncles.
Right?
You
I
understand?
do.
Brothers.
You got uncle brothers. You got uncle fathers. Your family seems to be on top of something, which is that, like incest porn thing
Yeah.
that we keep talking about on this
Dude,
podcast because
that's why I
the
gotta
world
get
is
into
talking about it.
pornography.
More
Yeah.
people talk about incest porn than they do about global warming. And
Really?
everyone's talking about
don't
global warming, so everyone is extra talking about incest porn.
Yeah,
Talking
yeah.
about
you
it
know
right
how,
now.
Yeah.
You
We're
know how
feeding
you're
into
at
it.
the office water cooler and then Jeff is just there talking about stepsister porn? Yeah.
Yeah, you see that brother nail that sister? That's so fucking hot, dude. I'm at the water cooler. Dude, you ever see me like one time I went to the Xerox machine, put my nuts on it, sent it to my sister.
That's definitely
That's how
That's definitely
most
how
of those
people
porn
talk.
start.
Travis, do you do improv comedy? Do you always announce where you are?
Yes, I do.
Hey, I'm at the water cooler.
Look at
Talk
this.
about this brother touching that sister. Oh,
Whoa, hey, oh.
Easy.
it's good. It's a compliment. I thought that
Okay.
was very funny.
Okay, so before I go, I'm going to talk a little bit about Robert Austin Lee, and then we'll be into the big man of the hour. But
Do it.
one side note is that I remember finding a census listing from the late 1800s where a bunch of Lees and a bunch of McCanns were living in the same cabin in Virginia, according to my research. So Cody and I might be distantly related. And
High
you're
five.
inbred, dude.
Hey.
Yeah, okay. No, I wasn't there cousin fucking.
Probably
I was
all
there.
are.
I was holding the camera while your ancestors were cousin fucking.
Well, we're related normally
Yeah.
by families finding other families and creating perfect genes by deducing the minor threats,
Science.
right?
Yes.
No jokes there.
Perfect science.
Dude, you guys are like science boys. Like, two of you. Like, imagine, they talk about test tube babies, but then they talk about like test tube. They never talk about test tube cousins.
Interesting. He's right.
I was born in the same tube that you were born.
Oh my god.
Just imagining like Tom and Mike
Are
ram
those
into a
real
beaker
things? Like,
together.
are they like real test tube baby humans?
Dude, me, Cody, and Travis went to school with the test tube baby.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
A
did.
person born in a lab?
He was like normal.
No, he was.
No.
No,
He was. The stuff that made him was mixed in a lab and then shoved in a mom.
They shoved
Yeah,
the
he's like
liq-
made in the lab.
They put the liquids and the egg together and they shake it up and then they wait till
Yeah,
it turns
yeah.
into a jelly bean and then they put it inside mama.
I wonder what he thinks about.
What he thinks about?
What's wrong?
Yeah, right? Like, what is he thinking about?
Dude, he's
How-
thinking about
Probably the same
like,
shit we're talking about.
You think so? Or he's wired differently because he wasn't born normally?
Yeah,
Dude,
maybe he's
all right.
maybe he doesn't have a libido.
normally. He was just conceived in a. It's called.
I'm not trying
vitro.
to be. That's probably fucked up. Now. It sounds pretty fucking mean.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you
Damn.
do, man.
We're not editing any of that
No,
out.
Get out of-
come on! I'm gonna get like fucking killed by someone. Like,
Get
for
out of
they're like, oh,
people.
oh my god!
Between all the white privilege and the ignorance to science, we are getting canceled this episode.
We're not even talking about the guy yet.
We haven't even gotten to our subject.
Okay. All right, moving on. All right,
Love
so
testing
we're going to get to
people.
our subject. There's one more Lee I want to talk about, and that's Robert Austin Lee. So this dude fought in the Confederate cavalry during the Civil War, and he pretty much just sucked at fighting because, like, I read about him, and he joined the Confederates in 1862. He left his wife and children behind with the, in quotes, faithful slaves that he owned. More on that later. But he was actually captured twice during the Civil War. Little surrender monkey. Like, he's like, oh, no, don't hurt me. I just have slaves. I'm terrible.
Are you telling me you have cowardice in your blood?
Yes. So he first surrendered at Kelly's Ford in Virginia, and then at the Battle of Gaines Mills, and was held at the Union prison camp of Elmira, which was a very bad prison camp.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they were on both sides of the war. Prison camps in the Civil War were just fucking horrendous.
I can imagine. It's probably just like a giant blanket. Bunch of dead people and shit.
For all of
field.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking giant blanket. Hey, can you fold your end of the blanket before we get into the bread line?
Mike, just keep vaping all the way through this episode.
So the Lees lost all of their land and money during Reconstruction. Rightfully so, because they were slave-owning traders to America. And they also had bought monopoly money, like Confederate money, which was worthless.
I actually want some of that. You could buy it.
I do, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they all just kind of spread out around the country. And Robert Austin Lee, he received, even though they were Confederates, they still received disability through the state. So he received disability from Virginia. And he became a traveling Methodist pastor.
That's where the money is.
Yeah.
Traveling Methodist pastor. Okay. He's like a nomadic monk of sorts.
Spreading the word of God.
Yeah, spreading. He's like, Jesus.
Spreading.
He's like, Jesus, please spread your legs so I can see that grundle. Praise Hosanna.
He wasn't one of those guys with the snakes, was he?
Oh, probably.
Because I could see someone who looks just like you going from town to town, going, I learned a little bit of this, I'm gonna do my Papa John's. Because that's like a phonetic tick for you. So I think it's might be in
genetic.
It might be genetic. So Papa John's, praise our God. Praise to God, touch on my sneakers. Have a nice snake. Boo, you're gonna make a wall out of you, sift on the snake.
Scabbity boo, you right. Your snake is out. Jesus would represent the snake. You touch the snake. That's me.
I'm seeing you do that like old school like uncle joke where you put like a snake in the can of peanuts, but it's like a real actual viper that springs out.
So okay, let's go back to those quotes. Faithful slaves. Now we can't exactly pinpoint it. Exactly where it comes from, but both my dad and myself, we both did the DNA test, and we have 9% African.
Hey, look
sick.
at you!
You get 9% reparations when that happens.
Specifically from the Ivory Coast and the Bantu people, which were slaves that were taken from Africa to the South. So at some point, that meant that the Lees must have hopped on some massive slave dong or tapped that bubble butt.
Yeah.
Let's hope it was consensual, please. But, now, it was common back in the day for a slave owner to have sex with their slaves.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes with the slave owners, if a woman got knocked up by a slave and the mixed-race baby was lighter skinned, they would be raised as if the husband, the cuck husband, was...
Yeah.
That was his child.
We bring this kid to Florida a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That's why this is.
It's also possible that Robert Austin Lee, on his travels as a pastor, could have knocked up a black chick and then just moved on or something. Or maybe Matilda was testing how faithful her slaves were when her husband was off to war. We just don't know. But
okay. Yeah, that's it.
I can't believe people actually did that shit. Like, that shit is fucking wild.
Matilda's all like, show me that big old faith. Let me see how. That's how Southern ladies talk, right?
Of course.
Let me see how big that faith is. Let me take you to Waffle House. Yeah, you can make me smothered and covered. You know what I'm talking about?
Jesus Christ. Smothered and covered.
Dude, I'm all about that smothered and covered
waffles
part.
right now.
Dude, you just want to be smothered and covered, Mike?
Yeah, I want some waffles.
Okay. So now on to the man of the hour, Alfred
Yeah.
Lee, or Alfred Latell, his stage name.
Nice.
So in my grandmother's family Bible, which apparently people used to get that as a gift when they got married. Yo, here's a Bible.
Weird.
Actually, no, that still happens today. My mom has one.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, there's like a family tree where you like fill the shit out. So my grandfather just shitty wrote down some shit down in this family tree. He said my grandfather, Alfred Latell, was born in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, and he listed his father as Sadler Lee. Now,
Sadler Lee,
Sadler, yeah.
the saddest man of all time.
Now, I haven't been able to track down the saddest man of all time, but I think that Sadler may have just been a pseudonym for whichever Lee was his father. Like Sadler coming into town, knocking someone up, and then leaving.
Okay.
Maybe
well, then
this.
the happiest man in town.
Yeah.
Horny man Lee.
Yeah.
They didn't want to write horny guy Lee in the Bible.
Yeah.
So maybe it was Robert Austin Lee because Sadler, cavalry. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
A lot of people back then had like the name of their profession. So it would be like, oh, you're a cooper. Oh, you're a tanner. So
Yeah.
Sadler Lee fits.
Cody, what is a cooper?
Barrel maker.
That's a barrel maker. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't even know that.
Well, now you do.
The more you know.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe this guy was just going around saying like, "Thou snakes is different. Touch this snake and your vagina should scream." And then it had like,
I'm just imagining his penis hanging out as fly, just like face painted green. Touch it. The Lord compels you.
This is a slippery snake. It's already got lubrication on this snake. Watch out for the paint. It will run.
What happens if I buy this snake? Like, what is it for? Have the snake bite you or something like that?
That's a borrowing snake, sir. You can only borrow it. I gotta come with you.
No. This is a non-biting snake.
Can I rent
it's
a snake?
spitting cobra.
You can rent this snake right here. $4
Bring
a
it back
day.
in 7 days.
Unless you treat it real good, then I'll give you $4 a day.
So, regardless of all that, Alfred was born illegitimate and therefore abandoned. Maybe there was some mixed race taboo going on. It might be possible, but a relative of mine claims that he was in an orphanage, and then he was either in an orphanage or maybe raised by his mother. I don't know. There could have been friends of a family named Latell. We just don't know where exactly this dude came from. And we probably never will because like Katrina rolled through fucking Mississippi and washed away most of those records. If
They never,
existed.
dude, those people don't write down anything. There was never any records to wash away.
Okay. So Alfred Lee was born January 16th, 1887.
1887. All right.
Yeah. So you'd imagine this poor kid, had it rough. Al, he's living Bay St. Louis is actually really close to New Orleans. So
Okay.
he was probably getting his taste of the stage and vaudeville and Big Easy. Just like,
Gotcha.
they're wearing masks. They're wearing feathers on their head. And look, that girl's titties is out, and you better bet she's got 700 bees on her neck.
Oh my God, my Uncle Snake.
Uncle Snake.
So vaudeville was the rage at the time. This was, if you don't know what vaudeville is, it's like a traveling sketch / freak show where troops, roamed around America and doing their fucking bits.
Yeah, vaudeville was huge. There was money in vaudeville.
Yeah.
It wasn't like panhandlers of today. Vaudeville was destroyed by Hollywood.
Yes.
And podcasting.
Really?
Yeah, podcasting for sure. Not this one though. Other one, Joe Rogan.
Vaudeville.
Fuck you. So yeah, vaudeville was huge. Just to paint a picture, like because vaudevilles wouldn't just stop in towns and do like set up on the side of the road with the little wagon. They would actually rent out theaters too.
Yeah. Big deal.
Is it in Louisiana?
They were all
Here.
over, but we're in Louisiana now with this New Orleans. Sorry, Travis, to
No.
tell you how
that's
your
good.
history was.
I mean, this is Alfred Latell's story is very much about the best of the best that vaudeville brought and how Hollywood destroyed it and films destroyed it. It's very much
Gotcha.
that tale, right?
Nice.
So, you think vaudeville acts like the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, Marx Brothers,
Yep.
all of them had their origins in vaudeville. And some of those names, Al would actually perform with in his future.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Cool.
So in 1902, around the age of 15, Alfred left New Orleans and ran off to follow his dreams of stardom, possibly with a vaudeville troupe, to the Big Apple,
Wow.
All right.
Fancy.
Making his dreams come true.
New York. So in 1905, in the census, he's listed as a roomer in a Manhattan tenement under his stage name, Alfred Latell. His profession was actor, and he was living with another Latell named Chaz, who was 26,
Oh, no.
working on the railroad.
Was he in like one of those fucked up buildings where they had like 20 people to a room?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Murphy beds. Yeah.
No, not even a Murphy bed.
Sucked.
No, just bunk beds, but like 5 mattresses that were 2.5 feet wide, like
People just
filing
stand
cabinets. Have you ever been to a dentist's office where they have the filing cabinets that move? Like,
Oh,
when they
yeah.
have them all, yeah. So it was that.
Yeah,
but beds. And humans lived there.
And every row was just stitched together cum rags, right? It was like fabric falling apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's recycling right there.
Well, they
So
let
we
it
did-
dry.
We don't know if this Chaz was actually his brother, could have been a friend, not sure. But why did Al change his name, though? I mean, maybe it was his mother's maiden name. Also, it's possible that because Lee was such a common last name, remember the Lees were fucking their cousins, they were getting everywhere, getting juicy. There are a lot of Lees everywhere. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
he might have just changed it because it was common. It's also possible that because he was connected to the South and the Confederacy, he was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah, he wanted to stand out.
yeah, he wanted to stand out. I'm going to be
He wanted
Latell.
people to like recognize him.
Yeah, it was tough being in the South after the Civil War for a long time.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was a pretty broken place.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a-
rightfully so.
That's a standard Hollywood thing nowadays. If you have like a gross last name, just to like change it.
Shorten it up or something like that.
Well, yeah. Tom Cruise's real name is Thomas Mapother.
Ugh.
So
Ew.
That's disgusting.
What a cum
It is.
dumpster.
Mapother.
Mapother.
Ew.
Ugh.
You can see why he changed it.
Yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Cruise, much sharper.
Wait, hold on. What's Gene Simmons' real name? It's
Oh yeah,
Genius.
it's horrible.
Isn't it Hiram?
Cruise now.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, quick Google.
Chaim White.
Hiram
Yeah,
White.
you can see. Yeah, good change.
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing about researching this guy in particular because he used Latell and Lee interchangeably. So on most of his like private documents, like marriage certificates or like private residences, he would use Lee. But things on like travel documents or like draft papers, which he didn't want them to come back around, he used Latell.
Aha.
So
I
that's
see what
smart.
You did
It's
there.
a little trick.
Yeah, so watch out. You can use another name to dodge the draft for these upcoming vape wars that are happening.
And almond wars.
Yes, and almond wars. Yes, the government will want to use you. Change your name.
Yeah, easy.
So this dude is in New York. He's working on the stage. And one of the things in vaudeville is that you wanted to, as a vaudeville actor, you wanted to develop a particular quirk or something that you were good at, something that put you apart from everyone, right? Because these people are competing. It's a very competitive type of acting.
Oh yeah, of course.
I thought I could just, give hand jobs. No, I'm sorry, you can't give hand jobs. Ted's really good at hand jobs. That's kind of his bag. You're gonna have to think of something else, bud.
Hand
why they have
jobs with my
unions
eye
now.
socket.
So you see, Alfred Lee by day was known as Alfred Lee. By night, he was Alfred Latell, and he donned his fursona.
He's like a superhero.
Yes.
Look at that.
So Al's whole shtick was that he was an animal impersonator.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now I'm not talking about someone that just like dons a leotard and like puts on a monkey mask and like jumps around. This is a guy who made a full fursuit with articulating facial features, tongue,
Oh, wow.
blinking eyes, movable tails.
What?
This guy was the first fucking furry.
Wow. Okay. Because like furries nowadays just have like the suit. You
Well,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
but
it's nice, but
They
like
they have like $5,000 suits, $20,000 suits, like fucking
don't-
crazy.
they don't have articulated masks though. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah, it's not
spending
home.
more money on their suits than like, someone that's like, I dressed up like a monkey for Halloween. You know what I mean? This is
Of
what
course,
Al's
yes.
doing.
See, this is
Yes.
the true shame. This is why America is in quite a pickle right now. Because you got these furries,
Yeah.
and none of them are making their own suits.
Outside.
They're all taking bank loans out just to look like a blue fox. Cool, dude.
I don't know what I
Foxes
would
aren't
Did you
even
make
blue.
that yourself? You know what? I'm not really into furries.
What kind of furry would I be?
You'd be a dead seagull.
That
I
is
Going
on
to
point.
Comic-Con next
I would
week, but-
love to talk to a guy who makes furry suits for a living, though.
Dude, if
I like.
is up.
if you
I appreciate craftsmanship. I want to see a nice suit from time to time. Oh, we got a dog attack over there. That's your new persona, dude. It's my dog.
Dies on the
my God.
podcast now.
I actually met someone.
Oh, yeah.
He was a super talented artist. He was not into the whole persona thing at all, but he just knew how to draw those characters, right? And people
Yeah.
would pay him literally thousands of dollars to do portraits of their persona for like their
Yeah, you're saying-
for their fucking icon and to hang. So like
Yeah.
Tom, you should probably get into that shit.
I
You can
could do it.
man. Oh yeah.
I could
You
draw.
make Super Bank.
But you know what it is? I'm afraid. I'm really I am personally very afraid. Because I don't know myself that well. So if I start drawing like fucking sweet looking squirrel pussy and shit, and I'm like, whoa,
You don't even-
this came out real hot.
You might not even have to do that.
Yeah, but like, what am I gonna do? Put down a client? First client I get, yeah, I want to be a fucking flying squirrel with fucking double D's, fucking big old titties and a nice big ass, and then I start drawing it, and I'm like, fuck, I'm a furry. now.
Okay.
Sexually aroused Tom.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I talk about these costumes, right? I mean, this is the turn of the 20th century. This is. Have you ever seen any of these old pictures of like Halloween costumes from that time? And they just like absolutely fucking terrifying. Like not
Why are they like that?
because they look so rugged and so fucking basic, but like, ugh.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah, they're awful.
so Al's costumes were like that, but like 10 times worse. So I sent you guys some stuff about Al. So the first one I want to click on is the dancing pig, which I'm not exactly sure if this is him, but this was the level of detail. Some people think that it is Alfred Latell. Some people don't. But
okay.
if you
Mike, look over here.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this.
Shit like that back then looks so scary.
This was entertainment back
Bouncing
then.
around.
but look at the way his fucking that menacing teeth and tongue.
Oh, he's shaking that ass.
Wait, I'm not even there yet. I'm still watching this
Yeah, I've
bitch
seen
dance.
this before.
Oh, there it is. Ugh.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Ugh.
So that under that mask could be your grandpappy, or is very likely to be the grandpappy.
Yeah, and then if you
Wow.
click below that link, there I just have pictures of Al Latell. You can see his most famous costume was called Bonzo the dog.
Oh my god.
And this is
Jesus
this is
Christ.
definitely him. Like this is not the pig.
He's smoking.
Pig may or may not be him, but
Holy shit. You're related to that animal. You're
What is that? I can't even. I need my eyes checked.
Wow.
Oh, that's
That is.
There's a man in there.
Jeez.
There's a man in there that made somebody who's on this podcast.
Oh my god.
What's up, Travis?
yo, what up, dog? I'm gonna
gonna-
haunt your nightmares, right?
He does. No, there's a picture of him, and it looks like you.
Yeah, right. The older
Like,
picture of him there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the patinaed
he
one.
does.
If you look at the one,
Handsome devil.
if you look at the one that, if you scroll down a little bit, there's one of him younger. He's like putting his. I'm using this as the picture for our episode,
yeah.
but it was kind of weird when I took the picture. I did my hair in a mid part, and I was like, I kind of look like this dude.
Well,
Dude.
because you're related to him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is a huge problem for you.
What, that I'm related to the original furry?
Yeah.
This could be my
This is gonna be-
breakout role right now.
This is gonna,
You're gonna-
slap us. We're gonna be known as a canceled, racist furry podcast from here on out.
I mean, there's worse things.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so one of Al's first big roles as a furry was as a monkey in the production of Gulliver's Travels in 1902.
Oh. Wow, okay. That's huge.
So on May 1st of 1909, there was an interview with Albert in the New York Dramatic Mirror, and he talks about how he studied for his roles. So this role as a monkey. So he said, I went up to Central Park for days and days and remained in the monkey houses, studying the antics and particularities of our cousinly progenitors. I don't know what that word is.
Progenitors.
Progenitors of mankind. Thank you, Cody, for fixing me. He would have slapped me in the back of the fucking head. I found it a most interesting study from the start, but when it came to putting on the monkey costume and going through the same movements, it was quite a different matter. Climbing upon trees and alighting myself upon the ground necessitated... whatever, he fell. He fell. A lot. He fell a lot.
Yeah, no shit, because he's not a monkey.
So also, suck on that, Andy Serkis. My great-grandfather was the first one to do that bitch.
No mocap necessary either.
Fantastic.
What?
You know, how many bananas do you think he ate
Probably
during this role?
He probably put a couple bananas in his back pocket when he was strolling around New York City on Broadway Market.
But monkeys don't have back pockets. Oh, I see what you did.
That's your great-grandpa.
So, once he got a taste for the furry life, he was in it, man. He said that he became a slave to the study of animals. After
Like Steve Irwin, man.
Yeah, dude. Except like more weird. Kind of sexual.
Because at least Steve was like, hey, look at this animal. That's not me, but it's something else. Isn't it fantastic? Like, that was kind of like his thing. He's just like, check out this. And your grandpa's just like, look at me. I'm the animal. I'm a goddamn animal. Oh, I'm an animal. Feels so good to be an animal.
So then...
Let's go hump this stingray real quick.
After Gulliver's Travels, he played a cat in the production called The Devil's Auction, and then in one called Kitty Town. So he's...
All right. Can we keep a running tally? We got dog, we got monkey, cat, and maybe pig, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Kitty Town sounds like a porno.
Right? That sounds like some fucking, like, kawaii... What is that shit? Cody, you know what it is.
What, kawaii?
Kawaii shit. Kitty Town.
Oh, like Hello Kitty, Sanrio shit.
Yeah. Then he played...
I like how you called me out for being a weeb, and I fell right for it.
I know you,
Bastard.
dude. Then he played a role in Babes in the Woods, where he played an English border collie, followed by a Saint Bernard.
All right. He likes dogs.
So,
He's getting up
as
there.
he took these roles, his costume revolved more and more and got more elaborate. He actually created a special tube that he made for his mouth so he could appear that he was lapping up milk in his cat costumes, and a string that he could pull to raise the fur on the back of his cat suit.
That's insidious.
That's role-playing right there.
Yeah. For whatever reason, it's making my stomach turn, though.
I know, it's gross,
Yeah,
right?
I'm getting creeped out. Your fucking family is weird, dude.
I just see someone with a hobby, you know?
Thanks,
Can
Mike.
you imagine, like, that... Can you just imagine that fur suit just, like, reeking of, like, sour milk? after the
Midsummer.
production?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about what it smelled like a little later.
Oh, no.
Hey, kids, you want to see what a cat smells like? You want to see it? You want to see what it smells like? I work in Hollywood.
Well, are you just trying to impersonate me right now?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. All right. Well, let's hear more about this very mentally ill man.
So other animals in his repertoire was a billy goat, a horse, a ostrich, a rooster, a bear, and a lion.
Whoa, lion probably was cool.
How would you do an ostrich? Like stilts or something?
Just shit out an egg.
Now, in true furry form, his real calling was the dog. He loved to play.
Nice.
He loved to play dogs.
All right.
Yo, guys, I'm walking the dog, yo. Whew.
Yo, boy.
And in that same article in the New York Mirror, he talked about him playing a dog. He said the dog is the most difficult to play. To play the part of a dog is not to buffoon him, but one is obliged to study him closely in his every actions. A dog is so close to mankind that he is known most intimately than any other domestic beast. I would go down to my farm in Asbury, New Jersey, in my dog costume, and go out with my dogs, follow them around, watch their every step and movement, their runs, their walks, their sits, their posture. I noted their growls, their barks, and their midnight howls, including their sneezes, and how they caught flies. I tried to let nothing escape me.
Did he ever fuck a dog?
Mike, excellent
Well, he's
question.
following their every actions, you'd imagine.
Oh, that dog is so fucking hot.
Sometimes dogs hump just for dominance, not even a sexual thing.
I'm close to speechless. I also want to point out that that's the best read you've ever done. So I feel like that's something you can relate to. You're one step ahead of the sentence.
I like
You
this.
knew where it was going because you felt it in your heart.
Dude, I was
And
channeling
that's
it.
what acting is, and that's what reading is. And at least the guy could write.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very masterfully written. I'm just thinking it's like 2019 now, right? And if I saw like a fucking like furry hanging out with dogs on a farm that I wasn't expecting, I would be grossed out and horrified. But
Yes. I would
turn it back like what was it like 200 years, and imagine seeing that with like the narrow-mindedness that Americans had back then. Like,
Furry's gonna come after us.
Oh, that's a beautiful dog.
whoa,
That's a real beautiful dog. She's big, a little lumpy, but
huge,
you know,
yeah.
wow. You know, let me find this dog's owner. Maybe I'll see if I can get him to fuck my dog, so I can make a big dog that looks kind of like a human.
So there was one dog character that would make him more famous than he could ever imagine, and that was Bonzo the dog. We took a look at him before. But there's one other element to him being a furry that we haven't touched upon yet. And that's the shit you see on DeviantArt. You know what I mean? Like little sexual
What's
boners,
going
little
on?
red rockets, little dog milk.
There's a reason they don't make underwear for dogs.
So during Al's rise to fame, he found the girl of his dreams. This was a Silesian immigrant named Elsie Vokes, which was my great-grandmother. Now, Silesian, if you don't know what it is, it's a weird people group that lives in between Poland and Germany.
Okay, I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So she was born in Europe and immigrated to New York City when she was young. And Elsie was a bit of a star herself, but not for the same reasons that Al was. You see, when Elsie was 12 years old in 1906, her and her friend both spotted a famous comedian named Raymond Hitchcock after leaving one of his shows. Now, Raymond. Now, both of them had hoed up with a bunch of makeup on, and they were like trying to pick out that perfect pedophile. You know what I mean? Just like, ooh, that guy looks like a pedophile. Let's get on.
Maybe if we put our faces inside of these cream pies, they won't know how young we are. Give me a banana cream pie, please. I'm going to put my face in it and do something naughty.
So they convinced Raymond Hitchcock to take them in a ride in his automobile. Woo! So Raymond...
Maxed out at 10 miles an hour, but it still got you places.
So
Party.
You girls into this.
So Raymond said they needed permission from their parents, which both of them were like, yes, of course we have permission from our mother. So then Raymond's like, hop in!
slip.
Hop in! We're going to go take a ride to my house in Great Neck, Long Island.
Oh, hey.
Cool. Very far away.
Yeah.
So they were apparently Hitchcock returned both girls around to their houses at 7 o'clock at night. But a few days later, he gave them another automobile ride.
Nice.
But the following day, he went to go pick up these two skanky 12-year-olds, and they ran away. And Raymond's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, they were so into me. Like, why are they running away? Then,
The
Jeez.
automobile.
Come on, Raymond.
yeah, so then he goes on. He's going to go do one of his stand-up routines. And he's in his dressing room, and all of a sudden the door bursts in, and it is my great uncle, Max Vokes, Elsie's brother, barges in, starts roughing up Raymond, and told him that he had sexually assaulted his sister. When then Raymond said, "Oh no, it was just an innocent ride. I took these two girls out on a trip in my automobile on Long Island."
Yes.
No, so Max calls bullshit, and he basically says, "If you don't pay me $1,000, I'm going to the papers." So essentially, Max is blackmailing him.
Nice. This runs in your family.
This runs in my family, yes.
You fucking asshole.
So essentially, the whole thing was a setup, but the case was brought to court and became a national story. And the press was slightly beefed up because William Randolph Hearst Jr. had a personal vendetta against the judge ruling over the case, making false claims that the judge was part of the rape of the two girls.
Oh my god.
This goes deep.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
So you and Hearst have been fucking for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for real.
Look at you.
Look at that shit.
So-
See how I tied that into your life and almost doxed you?
That's all right. I don't work there no more. Yeah, so basically Hearst was like, dude, not only did, this Hitchcock guy fuck those two 12-year-olds, the judge fucked them too.
Okay.
And how did that work?
Well, in the end, it was revealed that Max and Elsie were just blackmailing Raymond Hitchcock because he had actually just taken these two skanky hoes for a ride to Long Island. And
You're talking about 12-year-olds.
yeah, I mean, it's still fucking creepy.
Yeah, no, you are. But, yeah, it's creepy, you're right. But also 12-year-olds.
Yeah, no, why would you take...
Just remember that.
Yeah.
You furry white supremacist, you?
Wow, that's fighting words.
No, I know they're 12 years old, but, like, there was an intention to try to pick this guy up. There was a plan to try to pick this guy up.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm making it worse for myself.
You are.
I appreciate you for
Yeah.
this, though.
If we get canceled twice, 2 negatives make a positive. You understand?
Yeah.
So,
You get de-canceled to the second
So
time.
anyway,
Yeah.
Raymond was proven innocent, and Max was sent to Sing Sing.
Ooh, that's right.
Now, Elsie used this whole international spotlight to take, and she took advantage of it. She was like, "Hey, why not, use this? My face was in the papers across America. Guess what? I'm going to join a group called the Ziegfeld Follies." Now, the Ziegfeld Follies was basically the Suicide Girls of the turn of the century.
That's cool. I like
This
that.
was-
Vintage Suicide
Yeah,
Girl.
this was very sexual, burlesque, like nudie photos of like
Hell yeah.
16-year-olds. But it was okay at the time, but it was still like, what the fuck? Like, it was, if you look up the Ziegfeld Follies, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see. This is like some weird fucking goth chick porn going on.
Hot topic before hot topic.
Yeah.
Henry, why have you got a picture of these young women with hats on? It's indecent.
I'm holding it for a friend.
So that is when Elsie met Al.
No.
So we're talking about the Suicide Girl, Elsie Vokes, right?
Yes.
So it came in she came into Al's life. And now the thing is that Alfred Latell, my great-grandfather, he was married twice. And now he was married twice. Both times his wife became part of the act for Bonzo the dog. So the dude would dress up like a bulldog, and his wife/lover, both of whom were bombshells, would play the role of his owner. Right? They weren't dressed up, but like, oh, here comes the dog. Ah, look at the dog, so stupid. You know some fucking kinky ass shit happened. They boned in that costume. That completes the first Sona cycle.
Here comes the naughty dog. I'm gonna punish him. I'm gonna shake this jar filled with nickels till he fucks me.
You think he had a fake hydrant in his house?
Right, I mean, this is
What, like a hydrant urinal?
they could have been doing this shit on stage.
This
This is the point. This is the point before, there was any camera phones. It could be like some dude could have been like, "Blow the dog" in like the back row, and they're like, "Oh, okay,
Throw quarters on the
do
stage.
it."
That'll be $1.50.
Fucking pussy!
You won't blow that dog.
Hey, that's not a real dog. That's a man's dick.
Blow
I've
the
seen my dog's
dog.
dick. It doesn't look anything like that.
Fraud.
Okay, so they went on. They started. Al and Elsie went on to tour the world. Both of them, I have records of them taking ships to England in 1911, where they performed for the Queen. They went to Australia in 1904. I actually own a few of their playbills, and in the playbill, they were literally opening for Abbott and Costello and the Three Stooges. So they performed with Abbott and Costello, the Three Stooges, the Marx Brothers.
Holy fuck.
They were big. I mean, this guy was loaded. He had fucking tons of money. He was like, it was literally a world-class vaudeville act.
He was in VR before VR. Like, he was living his dream.
I am furious.
Why?
About this.
Why?
So many reasons. But it's okay. I can't get into it now. It's a whole tangent. Maybe I'll talk about it another
Why
time.
are you? No, you
I'm
can't.
furious
You can't leave
When
me
we're not
with
talking
that.
about furries?
It's a principle thing. Like, and the way I grew up, where it's just like, oh, you want to do something with yourself? You got to practice. Be, do cool shit. You got to play piano a lot. You got to play guitar. You got to fucking paint, whatever. And this guy's like, I'm in a beaver suit. And he gets to be with like I have a hard enough time with some celebrities today. Like the entire cast of SNL. Like, not funny. Isn't that supposed to be a funny show?
Yeah, but this guy studied baboons in the New York in the zoo.
Yeah.
He painted his ass red.
It wasn't a prosthetic. He just sat down one day
with lead paint.
Yep.
We'll talk about some of those chemicals in a little bit.
That's why, because I can elaborate on that and my personal feelings, which might be somewhat distorted in the year of our Lord 2019.
Dude,
cancel us right now. Find us and cancel.
He's
us.
an influencer.
Subscribe and cancel.
He's an influencer, bro. He just knows how to do monkeys.
He's a vlogger,
No, he seems to be under the influence of someone else. Here comes the bad dog. I'll tell you what to do. I'm going to beat this newspaper over your head until you come sauce.
I have a theory that your grandfather was just a kinky bastard that liked his like dom wife to collar him, but that wasn't acceptable in public. So he just went through the entire rigmarole of getting a fursuit going. He's like, oh, I can get away with this.
Yeah,
now,
on stage, he was an exhibitionist
while being collared.
You said he performed with Laurel and Hardy. Was he the cat in Babes in Toyland?
You know what? That was actually one of the things I thought of right away, and he's not credited. He has a bunch of credits on IMDb. A lot of the movies are not.
Shit.
A lot of the movies don't exist anymore. I could not find anyone listed for the cat, but he could be that cat because that cat is terrifying.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing. Like the Oogie Boogie Men, they're like, you look like a human booger, but this is like.
Fuck.
Oh, you so orange.
No, the cat is Nightmare. He might be that nightmare creature. I'm not exactly sure.
I hate that.
So Al and Elsie were over in Europe when World War I broke out. So they called off their tour and headed back to the U.S.
Goddamn Kaiser.
He, like I said, he returned back to the U.S. But Bonzo the dog, the whole act was a huge success around the world, especially England. They loved this character.
Everyone liked their Bonzo button.
Yeah.
Oh no.
How are you doing?
Oh no.
Hello, I do this now. Look at me. Come pet me.
Shut up, Bonzi!
Come pet my body. I'm very famous.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Oh, I'm scared.
I come pre-installed in your nightmares.
Holy
So
fuck.
he was such a big success that Alfred Latell copywrote his persona as Bonzo in the United States.
No.
And that's how we got Grimace.
No, but an artist by the name of George Studdy in the UK, where the copyright law didn't apply, went to one of Al's shows and then copied the signature Bonzo the dog. And in 1922, ripping off the whole name, the whole image, and the concept, came out with the beloved classic in the UK, Bonzo the dog. And now, if you're British, you might know this comic, or maybe your grandparents know it, or it's like Felix over there. Like it was like a Felix the Cat type of level.
Okay.
That this dude had just fucking yanked.
So what you're saying right now is that your great-great-grandfather was basically like Heathcliff. and then Jim Davis named, what was it? Benjamin Studdy. What's his name?
George Studdy.
George Studdy comes along, all Jim Davis out, and he's like, I could do that.
Yeah, pretty much. So by the start of the 1920s, Elsie was riding that Bonzo Red Rocket real hard, and she blasts out
Christ.
2 boys.
Aw.
Two pups.
Two pups.
Two puppies. Yeah.
She had a bit of a litter.
She had a litter.
Yep.
The second of which in 1925 was my grandfather, Richard Lee Sr. My dad is
right.
secretly a Dick Jr. He doesn't go by Dick Jr., but he is a Dick Jr.
He should.
Dick Jr.
So Richard Lee Sr., his brother Alfred Lee Jr., went on to go blow his brains out and was somehow buried at a Catholic graveyard
Whoa.
because someone had greased some palms.
Fierce.
When you blow your brains out, I don't really think you care where you're getting buried.
Well, no, the Catholics won't
Yeah,
bury
right.
you in a fucking graveyard if you
Yeah.
commit suicide.
I know,
Oh,
but
yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying is if you commit suicide, I don't think you care about that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
right.
okay.
I don't know. Just throw me out in the trash.
It's your it's your family. It's just like, well, he was a good guy up until that last fucking moment.
Oops.
And then he really sinned.
Right. So Al was working around New York for a little bit. Now he's a dad, right? He's got to kind of stay a little local, right? He can't be doing these
Gotta pay
massive
the bills.
tours. But he wasn't about to give up on his career for his 2 stupid ass kids. He's like, dude,
Yeah, why
I
not?
can't do this. Like, I'm gonna move to L.A. where all the money is.
Kids are really just so selfish.
Yeah, we're all the dirt. The palm trees aren't there yet, but I'm going.
Yeah.
So by 1930, he had packed his bags and relocated to the West Coast, completely leaving his family behind.
That's so fucked up.
As a dog do.
Yeah, right. Abandoning his pack. As wolves. No.
Yeah, there he met.
She gets a letter from the wife like, "How dare you do that?" And then he sends back a milk bone, like it's a dog's
Alimony.
life.
Oh, Tom, you're so good at predicting the past. Like, fuck. There's so much
love
foreshadowing.
I call it foreskin shadow because it's already been skinned out in the annals of
Yeah.
history.
That's
But I'm
bad.
here to read the skin before skin.
So there in L.A., he met a woman named Lucille Workman, whose stage name was Sylvan Dell. She takes the role of dog stroker. The two marry and begin touring again. Now, Al's success did not slow down, even while vaudeville was fading. His Bonzo the Dog act was still very beloved, and there's actually a signed photo of Bonzo the Dog in the Duke Ellington collection at the Smithsonian.
Oh, wow. Fuck
And
me.
and written in the top corner, it says, "Dear Duke Ellington, may you never live a dog's life, Al Latell."
Yeah, he was just trying to get rid of the competition.
Are you kidding me? What is this? What is this episode even? Who are you?
So while work in vaudeville was starting to fall out of favor in the States, him and Sylvan Dell toured Australia, where vaudeville was popular well into the 1950s because they didn't have television or anything. They were just, "Good eye, mate. As a Kiwi, I sucked off."
I like my Victoria Beaters. That's about it. I don't need a TV. The sky's all entertainment on me. Plus, if I walk into the ocean, I'll get stung by a jellyfish and I'll be seeing stars for hours.
Jesus Christ.
So Al started knocking out a whole new family on the West Coast.
As
Yeah,
you do.
and
Just starting
and
over.
that didn't mean that he completely forgot about Richard Lee Sr., my great-grandfather on Long Island. Now, in the early 30s, Al had met Hal Roach, who
Wow.
had
Okay.
produced Our Gang, The Little Rascals, right?
Wow.
And I think he might have met him earlier, like during the whole vaudeville thing, because Hal was also a vaudeville guy.
Yeah.
So when my grandfather, Richard, was about 6 or 7, Al thought, "I'm going to get my boy into acting." So the problem was that Elsie, who had seen that life and was like, "Dude, I don't want Richard to be part of this shit." It's like, "I don't want to get involved. Like, He's not part of the whole acting thing. He's going to become a lawyer, which he eventually did, and became also another dickhead.
All right.
But that's a different story. So Al flew out to New York and basically just took Richard, like without Elsie, like abducted him, straight up abducted him from New York.
Whoa.
Flew him out to L.A., where Richard was cast and was nearly almost a little rascal, but he caught the flu right before shooting. So Al Roach was like, nah, dude, you're not a little rascal.
You were almost from a family of Jackie Coogans.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could have had but it wouldn't have just stopped with dog with the Lee lineage. You could have been ripped off by your grandparents.
Yeah.
When
Just the way, and then been an Uncle Fester
Yeah,
later in life.
I could have
been
been
a
Uncle
child
Fester
star,
too, Super Fester.
Super Fester.
Super Fester, 64. Adam's Family Racing, because we are out of ideas.
So Al was like, fuck it, dude. My son's coming on an Australia tour. Like, and this is all without his mother's approval or knowledge where he was. Like,
Where's my
she
kid?
had put out like a fucking like missing child warrant, for her son.
Oh, wow. Milk.
I guess
Faces
I
on
lost
milk
it.
Yeah.
cartons.
Yeah, but like this guy's rolling around with the mindset of like he's a dog. So he, everyone's like, "Oh, where's my kid?" And he's like, "I just got my puppy." Get up on stage.
Oof.
So they do this tour in Australia, and then Al eventually gets bored, drops Richard off back in New York, and never sees him again.
Jesus.
You're a kid now. You don't have to be on all fours anymore.
I didn't really like you that much.
So Sylvan,
Fucked up.
You know what? You lap up milk like a bitch. I'm done with you.
You rookie.
you want to be a star? You want to be a star?
Oh,
You better
man.
lap that milk up, bitch.
You got to put on this bowler cap.
You gotta be number one.
We're going to put whiskers on you. I'm going to paint My Little Ponies all over you.
So his second wife, Sylvan Dell, or Lucille Workman, was eventually pumped full of that Red Rocket juice too. Starts pumping out some extra creamy individuals and children.
What? Is that how you call your...
Dogs don't use condoms.
Well, yeah, dogs
They
don't
didn't
use
have them
condoms.
invented back
So
then.
I was actually
No, they had
No,
condoms
Mike.
back then. They just didn't
Sheepskin
invent
ones?
dog condoms yet.
Oh yeah.
so I actually reconnected with that side of the family. We had no clue about who they were. So my second cousins, I met them a few years ago. Kimberly Albright actually helped me solve some of these mysteries about Al's later life.
Okay,
cool.
that's cool. Fam time.
Yeah. So things started to take a turn for the worst with Al's career. As I mentioned, vaudeville was in its twilight in the early 30s, and the movie industry had completely killed it in the United States in the 1940s.
Thank God.
So without vaudeville, Al was nothing. He clung on to dear life. While he was still famous in Australia, the LA entertainment industry was like, nah, dude, we don't want to see stupid dogs dancing around. We want to see heart throbs.
Oh, yeah.
It's like college hunks.
We want to see Buster Keaton in front of a train risking his life for what is the equivalent of $26.
A
today.
Jimmy John.
If I'm gonna see a dog, I'm gonna see a dog. You know,
Yeah, dogs are fine.
I'd rather see a dog, not a guy in a dog suit.
If a dog, I have a dog. If she comes down the stairs, I'm like, oh, cool, it's my dog. If there's a man who comes down here in a dog suit, I am scared. Yes, I'm scared. I'm worried. I'm worried about my family because I'm downstairs. There's other people
going
upstairs
on?
that could be dead right now due to
Jesus.
This dog man might have a furious temper. Awful. Just
Could be hungry.
yeah, exactly. He's ready to go. He's like, you got bones inside you, boy.
God damn it.
So Al hung around L.A., networking with some of his old vaudeville creatives. He tried to make it in the movie industry. As I mentioned, he's credited in a few roles on IMDb. You can actually see him dancing on stage at the very end of Al Roach's 1948 classic comedy, Here Comes Trouble.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
It's an old classic ragtime called "Please Help Me Feed My Family."
That's pretty much what it was.
Please help me feed my family, because it's time to eat some more. My son is dead and my daughter's dying, so please help me keep her off the floor. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Please have some fun tonight and buy some shit from the concession stand so I can get my guarantee.
Wow.
No, in that end scene, it's literally like a vaudeville act, and like the villain is like being chased around in some wacky thing. He's like climbing up the ropes and dropping sandbags on people's heads, all while just Al is just like dancing around, like, hell yeah, I just got a Jimmy John's. I'm not hungry anymore.
It's funny too. This is a Hal Roach picture, right? Yeah. So he only used like 40 songs that he had pre-recorded in all of his movies. So the Our Gang stuff was in all of his other movies. It was Bo Hunks who was the director behind that, and like he bought the rights to it. So he's just like, yeah, it was music schmusic. I'll just put it in it. So like Little Rascals music happening all the time. You know, it's just like
Never thought of it like that.
Yeah, like you would go to the movies and there would be literally 20 songs you heard the entire time.
That was like stock sound effects.
Those were the days.
Yeah, I mean, you
hear them everywhere.
You think Extreme and APM is boring? You should have been alive back then.
Industry talk.
Oh yeah, some
free.
of us get that. Mike, do you get that?
What am I getting?
Dude, he's high.
Exactly.
He doesn't
Perfect.
give a shit. Like, I don't
Nice.
know. He doesn't know where it is.
Industry talk?
So there were other issues, right? Al's getting older, and the physical stress of performing these animules is kind of getting to him. Got to like be in weird
Makes
positions.
sense.
Is this when he came up with the idea of putting together Animorphs, where he could just write
Was that
about
him?
his desires and then also his teenage lusts?
He was the original Animorph, dude. He would just write about it. He'd write it and like jerk it. He'd crank it, dude. He'd be like, dude, I love when they're halfway through their morph.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
I was a dog for more than 2 hours, so now I have to stay a dog. Oops.
Oh yeah.
Did
that
it
was a
wrong.
thing.
Did it all
So
wrong.
he had actually passed out on stage at one point, partially from exhaustion, but also from the fact that his costume, he used to clean the costume with turpentine.
No, you don't do that.
What's that, like poison or some shit?
That's paint thinner.
Yeah,
Like,
so he'd be high as a kite on stage from fucking turpentine. I think when he was like 60,
my
and
God.
like breathing this fucking turpentine in. He's like, oh yeah, fucking woof woof.
yeah, but also like just in his defense at that very moment, I think back in like what is this? We're talking 1920s.
No, we're in like the 30s,
Yeah.
40s.
We're in the 30s, 40s. Yeah. So if you went and saw 5 acts on stage, one of them's gonna pass out
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's par for the course.
because they're running all over town. They're on all kinds of uppers. They're like, have a little whiskey. It'll wake you up.
So on top of all,
This is the time.
So these people are passing out all the time. They don't drink water because it's not.
No,
good
you only
for
drink
them
whiskey.
because it's made of piss. So yeah, they're living on fucking alcohol the entire time.
Sometimes
They don't
cocaine.
know anything about health. Yeah, they got cocaine. They
Cigarettes.
got all kinds of uppers.
Vin Mariani, right?
It's like, today we understand. If you're tired, you go to bed. Back then, if you're tired, you sniff some pepper and you drink whiskey.
Yeah.
And then you hit the stage and you
Pulls you
smile
right
for 'em.
back.
And those lights, those weren't LEDs. Those were the hottest fucking lights of all
true.
time.
Yeah.
and this guy's in a fucking full fursuit behind those lights,
Just breathing in
breathing in
turpentine.
turpentine.
Sweating profusely.
Like I'm thinking,
I'm a dog. I don't even know what we're doing here. I really
right?
don't.
Like it's.
I'm gonna take a nap.
It took him. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, it took until his 60s to fall, like pass out on stage. I'm sure he passed out before then, but like the entire time he's like sniffing paint thinner in this costume. Like, fuck yeah, I'm a dog. Ugh. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
I would have loved to see like him play that off. He just collapses like mid somersault in his dog suit, and the audience is just like, "Look at him play dead! Isn't that adorable?"
Yeah, he's so precious when he sleeps. I took him on a walk today.
So,
Just gets dragged off stage.
yeah. So
Yeah, with the big cane hook.
Yeah. On top of all this fucking paint thinner shit, Al had made some pretty shitty investments on the stock market. On the stock market, which I'm not sure how you could fuck up the stock market in post-war America. That's pretty much next to impossible.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Dude, I don't know.
What do you
He probably
invest in?
invested in like dog penis condoms.
Turpentine.
I got one fucking word for you, and that's Moxie.
Moxie?
Moxie soda.
Moxie soda.
Oh, okay.
It was the biggest soda back in the day,
Have
in
a
like the
Moxie.
20s and 30s. And a lot of people invested in it because it looked like a commodity that wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
But then Coca-Cola came in. They had the sickest ad campaign. And then all of a sudden, 10 years later, Pepsi comes and fucks up the whole market. And Moxie's gone. And actually, a lot of people... I'm not saying that your dog, dude, your dog father... got fucked by Moxie, but it did happen to some people.
Well, okay. I mean, my speculation, right, is there was this company that existed in the 1920s. It was called Bad Dragon, right?
Yeah.
And he invested in Bad Dragon, and in post-war America, they were like, we will not have dragon dildos. We will not have dog penis dildos. But now it's back. It's back. He could have made $1 million if he didn't sell.
We have too many morals involved in our laws.
He was way ahead of his
yeah.
time.
Yeah, we need husbands and wives sleeping in separate beds with full sleeve pajamas in the middle of July. No fans, because fans are a luxury.
And sleep caps just to insulate fucking everything in.
Yeah, just to make sure you look like a fucking Klans member while you're sleeping.
So this dude went from like hanging out with Duke Ellington, performing for the Queen. He had loads of fucking money. Like, he was an international act. But he, because of these poor decisions, and also just the way that the industry was going, he eventually had to pawn off most of his memorabilia, his costumes, souvenirs that he had collected over his years of touring. And, my half-cousin, Kimberly, told me that he had a ring that was from the King of England that he had lost or pawned off at some point.
Wow.
Tremendous.
Jeez.
That's rough,
And
man.
eventually things got really bad, and when you're a stupid idiot and things go bad, you just ditch your family again.
Yeah, of course. Find the biggest drain on your life and get rid of it.
Plug it.
Just cut it loose.
So we're not quite sure what he did in the last few years of his life. So ask me a question. One of those things.
When did this guy die? But
Yeah.
in dog years.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
That's hard, dude. I think we might have to Google that.
4,000.
So we're not quite sure what he did for the last few years of his life. It sounds like he may have lived with some relative for a bit. One of the Virginia Lees that I haven't been able to track down. But in 1950, he was eventually on the streets, homeless, or living in poor houses in Cook County, Illinois, which is near Chicago.
All right.
So it's pretty amazing to track a man, like I mentioned, that was the height of the entertainment industry in this dying art form. And now he was literally just dying in the streets. You know, I said before, you're like, vaudeville died because of, the movie industry. Like, this is literally how it died, right? Like, no one wants to see a dog dancing around on stage.
Yeah.
No, it's uncomfortable.
Unless you
everyone.
like Beethoven, the movie, which is a great movie. But that was a real dog.
I remember that movie and that one scene, that montage where he gets onto he gets into the master bedroom and he's covered in mud and he shakes off, and I was just like, how is it gonna take forever to clean?
Yeah, it's a great.
I always like the Air Bud.
Put that dog down now.
Alfred Latell died probably alone on either a park bench or in some abandoned building in April of 1951. He was buried penniless in an unmarked pauper's grave in Illinois.
Oh, man. In this dog suit, I presume?
No. So,
in
in terms of the dog suit, Sylvan Dell reportedly threw out Al's remaining costumes when
You don't do that to a
when
furry.
she found out that her husband was dead. And his daughter, Barbara Lee, who is still alive, who had a short-lived acting career and actually dated Joe DiMaggio. Wow.
There's so many celebrities.
Yeah, she actually was interviewed post-mortem about her father, her late father, which was like another clue about him. And she was like, I don't know, he died somewhere in Illinois.
Oops.
So
He's just dead. I dated Joe DiMaggio. Whatever. Who cares?
Great baseball player, may I say.
So what was his lifespan, Travis? Let's convert it to dog
okay,
years.
so he was born in 1887 and he died in 1951. Do the math, Cody. I don't know anything about it.
1887 minus 1951.
You're just using your calculator.
Oh, yeah. 64?
4 years old. He's
64.
Nintendo 64.
So
Times
you-
8
It's not bad.
is
No, you
512. No, dog
it's,
years.
What you do is the first year is 10, and then the rest of the years are 7. So do 63 times 7, and then add 10.
So it was 451 in dog years.
That's an old dog.
Oldest man.
Old dogs go to heaven or a dungeon where they jerk off over people that are not dogs.
Yeah. I was imagining him trying to sneak past St. Peter in the dog suit. Like, all of us get in, right? Come on.
This is actually why Dom DeLuise signed on to do All Dogs Go to Heaven, which is a terrible movie,
Dude,
by
it's
the way.
terrible.
I just rewatched it because I watched it as a kid, and I was just I honestly didn't remember. I remember seeing it.
It was
as a
forgettable.
child. But yeah, super forgettable. Some of the worst music ever. And me and Gabby were like, "Oh, let's see how bad it actually is." And it was worse than what
Dude,
we
it's all
thought it would
those-
be. The story doesn't even.
It's all
make any
those cut
sense.
rate
Yeah,
cartoons.
like-
They're all going to heaven.
Yeah, fucking Burt Reynolds just being like, I'm a German Shepherd. I also like to gamble. I'm going to use Penny, the same little girl who played Ducky in Land Before Time.
Oh, fuck.
And she was murdered.
blown.
So
What?
you know
Oh, yeah.
that it had a real dark thing going on. I mean, she was actually murdered before the movie came out.
No way.
Yeah.
She had her
That's
head
creepy.
fucking chopped off, I think.
Yeah, by her dad, who was definitely a furry. So be careful.
So I hope this lineage brings some. I definitely did not fuck a raccoon stuffed animal, but I hope that it brings some context to the fact that I'm a completely normal, functioning person in society in America.
Yeah. I'm just a man who likes milk bones.
Wait, have you ever ate dog food? Have you?
I tried it once. It sucked.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
bad.
have
Travis,
not.
now there's a real answer to this, and then there's the answer that you should say, which is no, I would never do that.
Uh-huh.
I ate the dry one. I ate the wet. I would never.
No.
No
do that
Alpo
one.
for you, Mike?
No.
Would you eat a bacon strip, Mike?
It smelled kind of good, but also like plastic and shit at the same time. So I'm like, nah.
Mike doesn't know it's not
Right.
real bacon.
What is it?
It's bacon!
Probably pig feet.
Oh fuck. Well,
All right.
thank God I didn't eat that. Shit.
So, before we end our 100th episode, I would just like to say one
class.
thing. Excuse me. One thing. Travis, congratulations on being a white supremacist and also
Yeah.
I'm not a white supremacist or furry.
Congratulations to Travis to being a white supremacist.
I am not a
Yeah,
white
Travis.
supremacist.
Furry.
How could I
Your
be?
ancestors were.
What's your favorite kind of white dog, Travis? Is it a German Shepherd played by Burt Reynolds?
It's probably a French poodle that is all black on the inside.
All
Okay.
black, yeah.
Whoa. That's a necrotic poodle.
There's no coming back.
No,
from
it's a
that.
Welsh
You've
corgi.
been
That's my
accused.
favorite dog.
It's official. 1/4 of our podcast has been canceled. That's Travis Lee. He's been canceled. That doesn't mean you shouldn't tune in because the rest of us are extremely aware
Yeah.
Oh yes.
and sensitive.
Of course.
Dude, this is what I was talking about. You can't the sins of the father shit, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
condone any of that.
You don't own
Lee
slaves.
racist shit. And honestly,
But the
man,
furry
like
stuff,
I grew
yes.
up as like a poor ass idiot. So like,
yeah, no, I'm really I'm also really happy for you that you're gonna get 9% of a reparations check at some point, because like
Only
you know
6.
it's good to balance your beliefs
broke
and all
the
that
mold.
shit. All right, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's fine. Look, Travis, I'm really happy for you. I'm really upset for us that you got us canceled so quickly. Thanks for tuning into the 100th episode.
Yeah, it's good run.
the end.
Wow.
End question mark.
Episodes.
Yeah, we actually recorded the episode after this
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
how you doing? All right. Well, with that, I guess I'll take us out of here. That's right. That's what I do.
The 100th take us out of here, Tom.
Thanks for tuning into the roast mortem coverage of Travis's great grandfather, Alfred Latell. I can't fucking
Dude,
do
I
it.
know it's hard when
Let me
you
get a
drunk
clean
that
one. Let
at
me get
the
a
end.
clean one.
What? Those
Dude,
aren't
I
sentences.
know sentences, dude. I'm not born of dog.
Do you want to take this out? I'd be fine if you take us out on this one.
All right. Thank you, Shane, to all you idiots that have listened to us
Yes.
for hundreds of episodes. And now,
Just 100.
we will leave you by saying you should go to patreon.com so we can do hundreds of more episodes. And
that'd be nice.
you can follow us on the social medias where I could just do social media. And that's the end of the show. Did I do a good,
Yeah.
Wow.
Tom?
I mean, you
did it
forgot the
great.
URL for the Patreon, but whatever.
Yeah, how do I give us money?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I did it. Okay.
How do I put money into my pocket with Patreon taking a cut?
So I know we can't play this song, but if we could really just end this episode in a acapella version of Who Let the Dogs Out.
Yeah, where are the Baja Men? Maybe the next episode we'll do a Baja Men episode. Where are they? Where are they now? They're having a great
dogs
time.
they let out.
Who let my dogs out? Woof,
Woof, woof, woof. Who let his dogs out? Who did it? Who let Travis's great grandfather out?
Woof.
All right, thank you, Shane.
All right, thank you.
Shane.
Thank you, Shane, you ninnies.
Are you tired of not paying for your favorite product? Patreon.com/roastmortemcast.
What's a Patreon, you say?
It's a website where fans can support their favorite content creators.
Sounds like a deal.
Deal.
This is only if you got the money.
We got koozies, we got custom obituaries, we got stickers, we have movie commentaries that you download and watch with said movie. It's like you have friends in the room.
What if I don't like history?
You're wrong.
You love history.
How much money can I give?
Anything will help. We like doing the show. We're going to do it anyway.
Mike's losing us money at every corner. Roast Mortem Cast is here to help you take a load off that wallet.
It's all been arranged just for us to get your money.
I'm telling you that you need to give money to Roast Mortem Podcast so we can do it even better.
Are you tired of exploiting these four men?
Or you could even sponsor. You got a stupid-ass business? I'd love to talk about your business.
Point to point.
I'm too busy to read. Where can I find this podcast?
So call today at patreon.com/roastmortemcast. That's ROASTMORTEMCAST at patreon.com/roastmortemcast.
Yeah, if you want to buy me a beer, that's cool too, you know.